Hello everyone, my name is Maruku and welcome back to What If Deku Was a Dragneel. So let's get started. We start this story with Izuku being in Class 1A. See, he's sitting there waiting for Aizawa to come back, thinking that this time it would be Aizawa teaching the class, and as he's sitting there, he's conversating with Uraraka and he's conversating with Baku. And Uraraka expresses that she's kind of nervous because, well, Aizawa seems to be a very strict, kind of rough around the edges, teacher. You know, he's like very, very rough. And Izuku, he comforts her. He says, "Ochako, there's nothing to worry about. You have everything you need to pass. I mean, your quirk is strong, you're very smart, you're very clever. Whatever is gonna happen, there's nothing to worry about, okay?" And Waka goes like, "Yeah, if the nerd believes in you, then trust me, you got this in the bag. There ain't nothing to worry about." Izuku's a pretty good judge of character, if you ask me. And then Izuku says, "You only say that because of the fact that you're my best friend. And you think you're awesome." And then Bakugo says, "You're damn right, you damn nerd." But, it goes as normal, and, they're just continuing their back and forth. And then Izuku, because of him being a dragon slayer and having those, heightened senses, he can hear something running down the corridor. He's like, "Wait a minute, what's that freaking noise?" And then all of a sudden, freaking All Might comes through the door like, "I am here! Coming through the door like a normal person." And everyone's, looking at it "What the hell?" And Izuku's like, "What part of that is normal?" But, everyone's like, "It's All Might." They're all freaking out. They're all excited. They're ecstatic. They're because they're seeing the #1 pro hero. And, he comes in and tells them that they're going to be doing battle trials and that they should get fitted up in their outfits because the clothes make the pros. Then out of the wall came all of the costumes for the kids, and All Might tells them where to meet him, and Izuku, he ecstatically goes over to the suitcase that has his costume in it. He can't wait to put it on. So he goes over to the boys' locker room and he gets it on. He makes sure that everything is nice and fitted on. He has the long sleeve with the vest. Or, technically, it's one long sleeve, but he got the vest on. He's got those Sahara Desert pants that are all made from his scales, by the way. So it's completely decked out. There's nothing to worry about. Everything about this is completely. But he ends up after he gets all this equipment on, he leisurely makes his way out to where the training field is, where All Might's gonna be doing the battle trials. And as he's standing there waiting for everything to get underway and all, he ends up he's looking around and seeing if he can find Uraraka and Bakugo, and he sees Bakugo, and Bakugo just straight up looks like a walking grenade. He's got the gauntlets on his arms that look like giant grenades, and he looks kind of like he's wearing some kind of military outfit kind of thing. And he's like, "Hey Bakugo, have you seen Uraraka?" He's like, "No, Izuku, I don't think she's out yet." Don't worry, lover boy, your girl will be out here soon." And Izuku punches him in the arm and says, "Shut up! It's not like that." Now, while Izuku was distracted trying to basically kick the hell out of his best friend for teasing him like that, Uraraka walks up and basically she walks up. She looks like she does in her current I'm gonna say season 6 outfit, The only difference is that she has like a very, how do I say this, translucent style shawl that hangs from one side of her arm to the other, and to kind of give off the appearance of for it's kind of like homage to Grandini, that little it's not a shawl, it's like a veil, it's like a translucent veil that kind of like I said, hangs from her, like around her back, but it's attached to both of her wrists to kind of I guess emulate wings, I guess, like translucent style wings, and it's really pretty. And her little head things on her I guess I could say that they're how to phrase this, more horn shaped, like a dragon's horn, but going back, and at the tips of the horn, right? Like the base of the horn is white, but at the tip of it is green. No. I should take that back. The tip of the horn is pink, but at the end of it is green. You know why? You know why the tip of the horn on her visor thing is green. But back to the point. She strolls up really looking nice, looking real fine, and then Izuku turns around and gets a look at her. He is petrified. He's like, Now he can't speak. And then Bakugo looks over at her, and then looks at Izuku and says, "Damn it, Pink Cheeks, you killed him." And she goes, "What? How did I kill him?" He's like, "You really expect me to believe you don't know the answer to that with what you're wearing? I think this is a active attempt at assassination on Izuku right here." And she's like, "I don't get what you mean. What? I mean, I know that I didn't specify too much, and they've kind of made the suit skin tight, but come on. I thought it was cute." And Bakugo's like, well, obviously Izuku here thinks it's cute. I mean, he's petrified. He has no words. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can get him to snap out of it. And then Bakugo grabs him by his hair, literally at the roots of the, right where his forehead is, yanks his head back, takes his right hand, puts it over, forces Izuku's mouth open, and then, shoots explosions down Izuku's throat to see if it will wake him up. And it does. Freaking Izuku, straight up, buckles under the explosions, going into his mouth. And he's like, "What the hell, Bakugo?" He's like, "Hey, you're the one who was as stiff as a statue, not talking or nothing." And Izuku goes like, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to gut you like a fish and kill you. You best hope that you're not up against me, because I will destroy you and fold you like a lawn chair. I will turn you into a straight up omelet in this shit. Watch yourself, Bakugo. You wouldn't want to come out of class today with a bunch of burns, no, would you?" And Bakugo, a big sweat drop, kind of starts to bead its way down his head. He's like, "I should have minded my own business. I really should have minded my own business. I better start praying to the Lord himself, Jesus. Jesus, save me from Izuku before I end up being roasted on a panini. Please, please save me." I'm being straight up. Izuku is now so pissed that
Bakugo. He's literally going to have Bakugo walking around like he's got sunburn. Freaking can't bend his arms, his knees, his legs. He's just waddling everywhere, looking about as flat and stiff as a board. It like that is Izuku's plan, and Izuku is counter praying. The Lord above, let me be matched with this piece of crap Bakugo, so I may put him in a coffin. May cook him right all the way through and make him wish that he had never ever messed with me like this. That everything is officially settled, though. Like, settling down, All Might tells the students, okay, students, here's what you're going to be doing today. I'm going to be putting you in pairs, and then we're going to draw lots to see who you fight against. We're going to have heroes versus villain training. Everyone's excited. They're wanting to know what the whole deal is, and All Might explains that for the villain team, you will be given one of these, and he shows the replica bomb that the villains will protect. He's like, so what you will do is that you will pick a floor and a room to put this, fake bomb into, and you must guard it for 15 minutes. While the hero team will get a layout of the whole building. They will have knowledge of from bottom to top of the building, and their job is to either immobilize both of the villains or to touch the bomb. Touching the bomb means instant victory. So, does everyone understand the point of the lesson? And Momo raises her hand, and he's like, yes! Whoa, what do you think the point of the lesson is? And she says, because of the fact that whenever you're in the hero field, you're usually paired up with random people that you may not know or have synergy with. He's like, that is correct, young Yayorozu. Anything else? And then Izuku raises his hand and All Might says, yes, young Izuku. And Izuku tells them it's also to show how good we are at planning out on the fly, and working together with people who may or may not be able to kind of work well with our quirks. And he's like, yes, that is also a good reason. And he goes through the lotteries and he sorts through everything, and it's Ochako and Izuku versus Bakugo and Nita. And Bakugo starts to break out into a severe cold sweat. He's like, it didn't work. Nothing is gonna save me from him now. And he's really, really freaking out. He's like, I wish I didn't antagonize the nerd now. And, it all begins. Izuku and Uraka are outside of the building, looking over the map, and Achako's like, so, Izuku, is there anything that you can think of? You got any plans? And he's like, well, if I know anything about Bakugo, he would technically come, probably leave Ida behind and come barreling down the stairs to look for me, but because of the fact that his quirk is semi-useless against me, it wouldn't really do him any good to come straight for me. Not to mention that now that I have that, if you weren't paying attention, he's in a cold sweat right now. He is freaking the hell out because he knows that I am prepared to whoop him to Kingdom Come for messing with me earlier. And essentially the primary idea is either he's gonna come down the stairs, look for us, and either try and sneak attack us, or he's gonna come full barrels gun and barrels out, popping off explosions, trying to take me down as fast as possible, or he may even try and go after you. So the best course of action from my perspective, is for us to climb up the outside of the building, go up from the top, and make our way down. And she's like, that's really smart. I mean, with the idea that Bakugo would probably fly down the stairs to find us at like the moment that we're let in, that would be the most logical idea. Now, Ochako, she reaches over to Izuku and she gently taps him with her little paw pads and basically eliminates his gravity. And she touches herself and she starts floating too. And she looks at Izuku and goes, "Are you ready?" And says, "Yep." And Ochako, trying to like show off using her own Dragon Slayer powers, she takes a big breath in, and you can literally see the air around her create wind as it starts to like funnel back into her mouth. And she kicks the ground real hard, as she blows on the ground to cause a mini tornado to spike her up into the air. And Izuku, he just uses his fire to propel himself forward while looking at Ochako. He's like, "Woo! Go! Way to go, Chaco!" And she releases her quirk, causing both of them to gain their gravity back, as Ochako basically like starts to careen back towards the ground, and then she makes a show of surrounding both of her legs in wind to and as she's about to hit the top of the roof, the wind disperses real hard, causing her to like have a cushioned landing. She's like, "Ta-da!" And Izuku, he looks at her and goes, he starts clapping for her like a bunch of mini claps. And Osago's like, thank you, you were a great audience. But essentially they look for the entrance from the roof and they find it. And when they walk over to it, Izuku pulls it open and says, "Ladies first." And she says, "Oh, thank you, sir," as she walks in. And they both start to leisurely like walk their way down from like starting from the top floor. They're looking around, they're like, something tells me that it wouldn't be on the top floor, but definitely somewhere nearby. Putting it on the top floor would kind of be a bit irresponsible, Izuku says. Ochako asks exactly why he believes this, and he tells her, well, it's because of the fact that if you were to put it on the top floor and someone were to do what we did, it would make it way too easy to find the bomb. And she's like, I see what you mean. I mean, that's true. I'll give you that. But Izuku and her, they're just walking down the building and checking every room. And let's just say that the both of them can hear Ida monologuing to himself about like truly getting into the role of a villain. And Izuku and Ochako, they're looking in there, right? And they're just like wanting to laugh. Because Ida is making a complete goober of himself. Like, it's not even funny. It's like really, really adorable how much of a goober he's making of himself. Trying to like act all menacing and evil and stuff. And Izuku's like, okay, you take care of him. I'm gonna go downstairs and find Bakugo. And she's like, Izuku, I thought the whole point was for us to go for the bomb. And Izuku's like, well, I want to fight Bakugo, but if you tell me you want me to fight with you for the both of us to go after the bomb, then I will gladly do as you ask. Just say the word, and I'll do it just for you. And this makes her really, really, like, nervous and shy and, like, flustered. But she tries to hold it in. She's like, choke it down, choke it down, choke it down, choke it down, choke it down. And like she centers herself and she's like, okay, Izuku, I want to get a good grade on this, so let's both go for the bomb, and we'll see how it goes from there. He's like, as you wish, my dear. And he basically he leisurely walks in, and like while Ida is turned away, Izuku kind of like, how do I phrase this? He jumps and like over to behind a pillar, and when the send of shoots hit the ground, Ida quickly turns around and he's trying to figure out what's going on. He's like, "Who's there? You damned heroes! You will never truly know the power of my villainy." And Ochako's like covering her mouth, and she's trying her hardest not to laugh at this stupidity. But like Izuku, he's like, dude, you're really, really trying to sell this bit, aren't you? But you know, when Ida like starts walking towards the door, Izuku kind of like jumps again behind another pillar, getting even closer to the bomb. And Ida turns around. He's like, "Dang it, where are you? Is it you, Uraraka, or is it Izuku in here?" I expect Uraraka. Well, Izuku's fighting Bakugo, but I don't know who it could be. Yeah, he's not really doing very good at like the whole villain bit because he sounds dumb. But you know, he starts walking like to where he heard the footfalls like behind the pillar, and like Ochako knows that like in order for them to have even the slightest chance of getting the bomb without Bakugo coming back up or Ida alerting Bakugo, Ochako quickly finds a pebble that's like next to her, makes it zero gravity, like aims it towards Ida, right? Like she's not gonna throw it, but she goes, and she sucks in a bunch of air, and like as she like puckers her lips like really small, she shoots a very tiny condensed a bolt of air at the rock, causing it to like very harshly, I'll add, like careen towards not causing the rock to careen towards Ida's helmet and like smacking the hell out of his head from the back. He's like, "What the hell was that?" And like Ojako, she the moment she did it, she hid behind the pillar. She's like, "Okay, who's messing with me? Seriously, Bakugo, And he reaches up to his ear. He's like, "Bakugo, are you in here trying to mess with me or something?" And Bakugo's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on the second floor. I'm trying to see if the nerd's down here." And Ida responds back, "Well, I don't know about you, but I'm hearing footfalls in this room, and I just got hit in the back of the head with a rock. I'm not sure what's going on, but either one of them is in here or both." And he is like pissed. He's like, "Why the hell is this happening?" And then Bakugo's like, "Hold on, I'll be up there in a minute." And you can hear really loud explosions climbing up the stinking stairs, like up the building real fast. And Izuku's like, "Shoot, I need to hurry." And as Ida is like looking around frantically, trying to see if there's anyone there, Izuku, like, he looks directly at the bomb, right? And he, in a flash, he like stomps the ground, digs his feet in, and bolts forward towards the bomb while igniting the bottoms of both of his feet to propel himself forward. And just as he's about to touch the bomb, Ida comes in and he swoops the bomb away from Izuku. He's like, "Oh, that was a close one, Midoriya. But you stupid heroes will never take this bomb away from me." And Izuku, like, he lands on a wall and he starts to propel himself back. Like, boom, hits the wall, like cracks the wall again, and careens towards Ida as fast as he can. While Ochako, she also can hear Bakugo coming, so she does the same. She surrounds herself with wind and starts to hit the walls and bounce off, trying to basically they're both doing a pinball effect where they're pinballing around, kind of like Gran Torino, but they're like moving around so fast that if Ida is not careful, one of them will eventually get the bomb away from him. And Izuku's like, "What's the matter, Ida? You can't keep up with us, you stinking villain." And Ida's like, "Oh ho ho, you think you're so confident? Well, let's see how you like it whenever whenever my partner gets here to take the both of you out." And they're just like, they're bobbing, weaving, jumping, everything, and they're moving around real fast. And Ida is having a hard time keeping up with them because he has to keep his eyes on both targets at once, and they're starting to overwhelm him. And just as Izuku and Uraraka have him kind of in a pincer position where one is coming from him at him from behind, the other is coming from in front of him, and they're both at an awkward angle. So if he moves anywhere to the right, then Uraraka will have him. If he moves anywhere to the left, Izuku will have him. So he can't move. Literally, he's stuck. And then, with a stroke of good luck, for Ida that is, Bakugo comes in, and he with explosions explodes towards Izuku and gives Izuku and freaking lariats the hell out of Izuku, freaking knocking him away from Ida and the bomb, giving Ida the just enough room to move the bomb out of Ochako's range, and then and then move to the opposite side of the room. And Izuku, after slamming into the wall because of Bakugo giving him one hell of a lariat, Izuku's like, "Oh ho ho, so that's how it's gonna be, eh, Bakugo?" And Bakugo is still kind of sweating because he knows what's about to happen next is going to be a very, very painful lesson in not teasing Izuku. Period. No question mark, nothing. Just period, exclamation point. And Izuku, he starts to radiate heat. And I mean a lot of heat out of his skin. Which basically, that by itself already gives Bakugo a first degree burn because of touching Izuku's skin. Now, I'm gonna say that when Izuku is actually focusing on it and he's really, really pushing it, his skin can be very dangerous to touch. It's dangerous to touch with your bare hands. And if with the gauntlets only going to Bakugo's hands, and the rest of his from his elbow to his upper arm, and even his traps is not technically protected properly. Apart from the metal thing that goes around Bakugo's neck, he's a prime target for Izuku's very hot skin. It really hurt the hell out of Bakugo. He had he freaking was staggered back, and you could just hear a very, very minute sound of sizzling on the skin. He's like, "Oh, that freaking hurt, you nerd." He's like, "Well, you're the one who decided to basically put a stick of dynamite down my throat without me being ready. And teasing me about Ochako? Nah, you junkard." And everyone in the observation room, they're watching everything that's going down, and I'm gonna say that everyone is hype. Kirishima is going wild because of seeing not only Bakugo and Izuku going at it crazy, but the skills that Ochako herself has displayed. And aside from that, everything is like super quick. Like there's not a proper way to explain it, but it's like very hard to keep up with anything they're doing, and it's impressing them because you wouldn't expect someone to have that much like attention to detail and skill. Like it's like really impressive for them to even be able to go this far with their skills. But at the end of the day, Izuku and all the other Dragon Slayers, they are on a different level. They really are. So the fact that everything is going so nicely is a miracle in and of itself, right? But like Izuku, he gets up and his body is just radiating all this heat, which is very uncomfortable with. But like Ochako, because of her being like a sky dragon, right? Like I said, her wind can improve his flames. So Izuku quickly like jolts over to Ochako and says, "Hey, Ochako, I got an idea." And he quickly whispers into her ear an idea that he wants to like he wants them to use, right? And she looks over to him and says, "Izuku, are you sure about that?" He's like, "I'm sure. I'm very sure." And she says, "Okay, if you're sure." And Izuku and Ochako, they stand like side to side with each other, and Izuku breathes in and goes, "Fire dragons roar!" And at the same time, like Ochako sucks in all the air she can, and she goes, "Wind dragons roar!" And they both, and as they're both like shooting this out, they're combining into like a spiraling typhoon of hellish flames that careens across the entire room, setting that whole thing ablaze. Like Ida and Bakugo are having a hard time kind of. Well, actually, they like the purpose of this attack wasn't even to to hurt, but to actually make it to where, like, they're so overheated by this by raising the temperature in the room, that those two specifically would not have the strength to move around properly. Cause I tell you what, Ida's not gonna be hurt by a bunch of heat because of his armor, but I tell you what, that armor is gonna be a lot harder to move around in that because of how sweaty it'll make him. So while Ida will not know the kiss of the flame, I'll tell you what, that suit is not very breathable either. So he's gonna be feeling very steamy, very very hot. He's like, and after they both stop, like Ida's like, "I gotta take this thing off. I'm melting in here," and he throws his helmet off. And he's like gasping for air. He's like, "You're gonna cook me alive in this tinfoil armor." Like he's crying because he feels like he's been wrapped in tinfoil. Basically, he's cooking in an oven. But Bakugo, he's like on the other side of the room. He's like, and he knows he cannot detonate an explosion right now because of all of the sweat covering his body. Like, if he was to detonate any kind of explosion, it would literally, like, blow up the whole building. And then he thinks to himself, "Oh, I have the perfect idea." And, like, at that time, both of his, like, gauntlets, they light up real bright. And he's like, "Hey, Izuku, if you're, since you want to show us a really cool move, how about I give you one instead?" And he pulls back both the triggers on his gauntlets, and he holds them both up at the same time, and loops both of his index across each of the pins, and then he pulls both of the pins at the same time. And Izuku and Ochako, they're standing in the doorway, so Izuku, he grabs Ochako and he shoves the hell out of her to get her away from the door. And at that moment, All Might is like, "Young Bakugo, no!" And Izuku has the most feral smile in the world. staring him in the face as Bakugo realizes he just made the worst mistake ever. And like the grenades, they go off and they damn near slam, throw Bakugo into the wall with how much pressure is coming from both of his gauntlets right now. And Izuku, his feral smile gets even bigger as he sees this enormous, ungodly flame of explosions coming towards him. And as it's about to reach him, he licks his lips and he opens his mouth real wide. And he starts to devour this explosion. And it just sounds like he's slurping like an ungodly amount of spaghetti into his mouth. Like it's like, and he eats every flame, and everyone in the auditorium or the viewing room, right? They're like, what the hell is he doing? And the moment Izuku stops slurping up all of Bakugo's explosions, let's just say he looks like Luffy, like legitimately like a fat ball on the ground, and he's like, bleh. Oh, that was delicious, man. Oh, I'm full now. Ooh, that's a lot of fire. He's like, give me a second. And he pokes his stomach and it looks as if he's doing the whole Luffy thing where his body quickly and in an amazing attempt digests all that fire at once. He's like, now I'm really fired up. Bakugo. And Bakugo starts to sweat. I'm coming for you, Bakugo. Izuku instantly bolts forward with fire, propelling him in his feet. Spins around and drives both of his feet into Bakugo's stomach, which causes him to kind of start to throw up before jumping towards the bomb. And Ida cannot do anything. He's literally laid out on the ground, sweating profusely. And Izuku taps the bomb. And actually, no, wait. Yes, yeah. He taps the bomb, and he's hanging off of it, just waiting for it to be called. And at that moment, what you hear, Hero Team wins, and Izuku is so happy and so excited to have have won the battle trials. Ochako comes up to the door and she's jumping around. She's like, we won! And Izuku runs over to her and he kind of throws both of his arms around her waist and he's spinning her around. He's like, we won, Ochako, we won! And Bakugo is still bent over, vomiting on the ground. He's like, you didn't have to kick me so hard. And Ida's laying on the ground in the other half of the corner. He's like, someone get me out of this hot armor, please. I'm dying in here. And they're all taken to the observation room. People are literally trying to help Ida cool down. I'm gonna say that Todoroki, because in an attempt to at least be courteous, he creates a block of ice and just puts it on Ida's armor, trying to see if it'll cool it off. And the ice starts melting instantly, which makes Todoroki flinch a bit. He's like, "What the hell?" And then he proceeds to create a couple more blocks of ice and start sticking them in random parts of Ida. He's like, hopefully this will cool him down. We don't need him dying on us. And it's just it gets really, really funny watching this, because it's why? Just why? And Bakugo, he's being wheeled away all the way to Recovery Girl while, and after like Ida's suit is fully cooled off, like a bunch of the boys like have to help Ida like basically like get out of this armor. Like, and I'm gonna say that he has that like Ida is not completely naked under the armor. Like once they actually slip him out of the metal suit, he's wearing like a like a kind of sort of like a spandex bodysuit leotard, like so that like so that the armor doesn't chafe, I guess you could say. And once they pull him out, he's like, oh, sweet relief from the heat. Thank you. Thank you so much. He starts to cry a little bit. And All Might's like, oh, Chio is going to kill me. Oh, shoot. I really, really don't hope that I don't have to see Recovery Girl anytime soon. Is what All Might is saying, at least. But, you know, the rest of the fights they go is usual, aside from the occasional, you know, Dragon Slayer display from the others and all. It's just kind of intriguing, I guess. It's like really, really intriguing to watch it go down. But, you know, that's just how it is. And I want to say that, I think I'm going to leave this part here. Now, for the next one, it's not going to, like be, like, a story progression thing. It's probably going to be more like a pseudo, like, date, but not a date thing between Ochako and Izuku. And then we're going to cover all the other stuff, but, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I hope you all enjoyed. And don't forget, the shadows are watching.